Hello, classmates. So, welcome back. For today, I think I will be making the Lucky Beats from Kemono Friends, the show that came out in 2017 and was a big hit. Not a little hit, it was a big hit between the anime community. And what I think about the show, I will be covering mostly season one, little bit of season two, and almost nothing of season three, unfortunately, because I haven't watched season three, and I know there's a game, but I'm not gonna dwell on that. And for that, I think let's get started with the review then. So first of all, I think Kemono Friends was extremely underappreciated because it's like the show didn't even have the budget to do what they had done, but they still punch above the weight. They came in close with, I think, Dragon Maid. There was a lot of big show in the slice of life genre. So I think we need to appreciate Kemono Friends for doing that. And for today, I think the review will be about mostly about season one and what I like about season one. Well, first, I think we need to establish the world the Kemono Friends are in. So like the world doesn't exist any humans, no humans exist, just animal, half people. So in essence, they look like people using animal costumes, but they are actually animals and they're pretty strong. And for that, we are hit with a revelation that our protagonist would be human. But I don't know about that. I have my fears about that. I don't think she's really human. Our name of the name of our protagonist is Kaba, bag for I think bag is bag in Japanese, if I remember correct. And her best friend for most of the series is Servo. Servo, if you know about biology a little bit, is some sort of like cat that jumps really high, and that is most of the comedic moments in the series is that Servo is pretty energetic and sort of like airheaded a little bit, but she sort of like to jumps really high, and that I think is very funny because if you take the two personalities, Kaban is very calm and very intelligent in some regards. Like she has the same intelligence as a human, but if you compare to animals, she's pretty intelligent. And Servo is really relaxed and airheaded. She doesn't take anything for a threat, and if there's a threat, she will punch above her weight and kill it. But most of the series is pretty normal. Not normal in some sense. It's just like two of them going to some places and help other Kemono friends. But what made the series so special in that regard is that every encounter is different. Every encounter has some sort of impact in the relationship between Servo and Kaban. I think the first one is with I think the hippo girl, and she gives she just say that Caban is not a human, but they should seek the owl to know if that's true or not. And some of the encounters are like that because no one believes they're human anymore, and that I think is a point of the series. They just sprinkle a little bit of lore in between the lines, like the innocent lines the character says is actually something very deep and very how do I put it, very unique in that regard. Because the show appears so innocent and so like colorful and bright, and there are some lines that are a little depressing or a little a little dark, for example, too in the show. I think the one of the line was with the serpent girl when they come into a tunnel and they enter some sort of like a maze and they have to escape from the celluloids. I think was the names of the creatures. And yes, the creatures are just like low poly one-eyed things, the low poly dark blobs, but they're actually very threatening in the series. They like stick out because if you see all the Kemono friends, they are like pretty cute, and there's just like one big black blob walking around. So that one made them all the threatening. Another thing that we need to point out is that the relation of Servo and Caban grows, even if it doesn't appear the same. It really grows. It's very beautiful. But coming back to the point of the serpent girl, she sprinkles a little bit of lore saying that humans went extinct, and you can see I think in the ending of the show was pretty interesting because the ending shows like abandoned park, and it's completely off. You take that off guard because the show is pretty beautiful. It's childish in some sense, but then you just see the image and you think, huh, I think there's a lot more in there that we don't know about. So I think for season one, they set the bar very up high. For any other anime to copy that, I don't think they will. They it was very well balanced between the humor and the serious stuff. And another thing was that the characters were like they were bad. The animation was pretty bad, almost painful in some ways. I think it was extremely painful to watch the four penguins dance. That was painful. That was painful because the CG was so bad, but they had some character in them. I think the person that actually wrote Kemono Friend had some feelings for the character. So even if bad animation, they clearly know how to do it. It was made with love. Now that's something that I cannot talk about from season two. Well, season two, let me say a little bit more. It was not bad. It was just mid. It did not put on the bar. It did not it did not came even close with season one. I think that was one of the problems. We expect a lot from season one to come to season two. And let me say, if it was a spin-off of the main series, it would be great. But it's an actual continuation. So the lore they established in season one, and all the things that happen, they just throw in the trash. They just had thrown that in the trash, and no one talks about that. And that was actually sad because Servo is one of the cast members, but I think I don't, season two was pretty bad. I don't even remember the new protagonist's name, but he was like, he did not grow. He just like stuck around, and he was not intelligent. It was the other Kemono, it was the other Kemono friend that was intelligent. They, they break the whole chemistry between the animals. Like I think the best moment of the series was two best moments, I think. One that really put on remembrance of season one was with the doggy girl, because she was like abandoned and something like that, and she was still waiting for the human to come back. That was extremely sad. And the other moment was, I think, when we see Caban once again taking care of the other Kemonos, and she just glances over to Servo and she says nothing. Man, I think that was one of it was extremely sad because they just glance over and in minutes they just cut to another scene. It's like half second. It doesn't even come close. But I think in the lore, when I think something happened to them not talk about, to they for them not to talk to each other. I don't remember the actual lore, but I think Serval died and she was reborn, so she doesn't have any remembers of Kaban. But man, just a little hint, just like, oh, I remember you, or you seem kind of familiar, just something like that. But they did not do it. There was an underused part of what they could have done. And I think a little bit about season three. Season three was while I watched on YouTube, it was actually kind of it, it was kind of comedic, but they lack some sort of sense because it's just skits. So no big plot, no interconnection with the other series. So I think they just use the Kemono brand to do something like that, but not actually like developing an actual plot with the Kemono Friends franchises. It was a little bit sad because I know we have seen the other animals, the other Kemono Friends in season three, but like I don't feel it's something that actually matters, you know. It was not like in an integral part of the series. I think the most part was when we watched the series of Kaban and Serval, and we lost that in season two, and in season three did not even come, not even a hint of Serval, just like some skits of 2 minutes and a half, and nothing about Kaban, nothing about Serval. So I think that was pretty sad because Kemono Friends, if they had gone in the route the same with season two, if season two no, the with season one, they would actually make bank. They would actually make a lot of money because it was extremely good, extremely good. I cannot make any sense of what extremely good is because if they just like they made a better version, just like they did in season two. The animation was extremely good quality, but the plot was lacking. If they made the quality good and kept the plot, it would be a hit. I'm certain. And to think about a little bit of the games, I don't know. I haven't played the games, and I know it's a gacha game, but I think I will be playing sometimes just to see a little bit of the lore. And if they kept the lore they put on season one, and I think that's very sad because Kemono Friends now will be just a branding. It won't be like some sort of big interconnected world that we see. I don't know if the game will be doing that, but it will be extremely good if they did that. It will be fantastic. But for now, I just think that they just stray away from the little concept the author had made. I know from what I remember back in 2017, there was an actual like controversy going behind the scenes, and they just I think they lay off both of the author and the director, and I think that was one of the biggest mistakes. So now they just are going to use Kemono Friends and not actually having any love in them. Was extremely sad, extremely sad. And from what I remember, Kemono Friend was an abandoned project, so they're just going to use his product with no soul, no intention on giving anything for him back. So I think that was an extremely sad way to end up this video, but it's just the truth, man. It's just the truth. Kemono Friends will not return to the origins of Season 1. I may be wrong because I haven't played the game yet, but if that's the route they're going to take us, then it's very sorry for Kemono friends. Grape Kun would not be impressed. He would be sad. But for today, it's just this. Bye bye.